Hi there, it's Joe here from ShopTo, and joined by George,
Hello.
who you'll know from our YouTube channel, of course. It's been a while since I've done videos, actually. I've been taking a summer break, you could call it. Well, it's been pretty quiet. There's not really been a lot to talk about, as there. So I
No, not
figured,
really, to be honest.
figured I'd just take a little break from streaming and get back to it in the busy time of year. And
Yeah.
sort of, because it's just, I don't know, your brain sometimes needs a rest, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, definitely.
So it's been quite busy, like news wise, but it's just that video wise, it's oh no, I need a break. Need a break. It's a bit like our show. We just need a break from that. But anyway, that's getting away from the point. Today we're here to talk about the PlayStation Pro, which was revealed last night, along with the PlayStation Slim and a few peripherals as well, which we'll gloss over quickly. Let's just talk about them first. Actually, there's a new PlayStation camera, which is sort of round now. It's just changed shape, but it's not any different from the old PlayStation camera. Have you seen
Yeah,
it? It
yeah,
comes with
yeah.
a
It looks really
stand.
cool.
It looks quite cool, but yeah. So that's coming out about $54.99, I think. There's a new DualShock 4 as well, which has got the white bar coming up through the top of the touchpad.
Yeah, yeah,
Now, what's new about this is the main point of that is just so you can see what player you are in multiplayer games, but also there's one feature that not many people have talked about is the fact that you can play the DualShock and send signals through the USB, so that kind of gives low latency rather than
Oh,
playing
okay.
through the Wi-Fi slash
Ah,
Bluetooth. So yeah, that's another small change, but I think that's about it. That's about $54.99 as well. There's a vertical stand which comes with two parts. That comes for a part for the PlayStation Slim, and it also comes with part for PlayStation Pro. So you can buy that stand and use it with either. And finally,
okay.
there's a new Pro headset which is about £125 and has 3D audio, and it's maybe more comfortable, stuff like that.
Mm.
I think it's
All
got
sounds
Dolby
very good.
7.1 as well. So yeah, that's the peripherals. I noticed none of them were actually announced, but they were spotted at the sort of hands-on event after the
Yeah, they were just
conference,
kind
and
of in that like glass case, weren't they?
yeah, and then things come out after that. The first thing Sony announced, of course, was the PlayStation Slim. Now we already know about this already. There's nothing new about it apart from the fact that it doesn't have a digital optical out on the back for some
Oh,
reason. Don't know why, but it's not quite as cheap as I thought it would be. I was
yeah,
expecting it to be like two 99, or I thought 199 actually.
yeah.
Uh,
It almost seems like they're literally ditching the old PS4. There's not like a point in that anymore. You won't be able to obviously buy it because they
Strange.
replaced it. But I thought maybe they could have done it so that the Slim was cheaper than the PS4, and then they could kind of lose,
Yeah,
like wind down
two
sales that way.
two
Or
five nine. I don't know if that's anything to do with the exchange rate, which isn't the greatest at the moment, but at least expected 299, if not 199. And the reason I say that is because Xbox One S, which obviously comes with 4K movie streaming and a 4K Blu-ray drive and HDR. Obviously, like all PlayStations from next week are getting a patch which will include HDR for all PlayStations. So
hmm
that was a pretty, I'd say that was one of the best announcements of the night,
yeah,
really. That was brilliant. But I would just say that that surprised me, that price, because I think the PlayStation at that price would struggle to compete with the Xbox, which has more features at the same price. That
yeah,
that did surprise me. But like you say, maybe Sony think they've kind of reached saturation point now, 40 million. Maybe they're thinking to themselves, well, there's more people who want to buy our console, but maybe we would rather they pay 349 and get the better one. Maybe that's
yeah.
what they're thinking. Maybe they want to sell another 40 million at 349. Maybe.
Well, I
Don't
mean,
know.
if I didn't have a PS4 at this point and I was looking to buy one, there was no way I'd go and buy a Slim. I'd just save up the extra money, however long it would take to get the Pro, because to be honest, it seems almost twice as good for only £100 more. It is quite
Yeah.
odd the pricing they've done.
Yeah, it is odd, but the Xbox One S versus PlayStation Slim, I mean, word of mouth goes a long way, doesn't it? PlayStation's got the momentum, 40
Yeah,
million sold. Maybe that price, because it is cheaper. What was it before? 23299
yeah, I
RRP.
think it was
Although
about that.
most places you can get it for 250 now, but I think 299 is the actual RRP. So they have knocked almost 50 quid off. So I suppose it's still a decent-ish price, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how. And obviously that's now at Christmas. We could see it at 299. We could see it at 199 maybe. We could see it 229. Did I say 299? I meant 229 with games bundled by Christmas. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Especially when the Pro comes out, they're going to want to reduce that further. So I don't know. We'll see how that pans out. Like, speaking of the Pro, so that's the main event, isn't it? That's the one that we've been waiting for, really.
Indeed.
I didn't think they did a very good job of explaining it. It was a bit, that Mark Cerny's voice was kind of sending me to sleep. It's like, he's got this really soothing voice, and he's going, he's talking, and I'm going, I can feel myself drifting. But it sounds good. Like, what I did, because the problem was it's a really hard sell when you're watching a live stream on your computer, because you'll see all this footage and it looks nice, but it's not in 4K. So you're a bit like, well, why should I get this? Because I don't see any difference. So what I did this morning was I watched the 4K YouTube videos on my 4K TV.
Oh, okay.
Wow. They look amazing. The horizon had my jaw dropping. That honestly, the sun came up in one scene, and the glare for the sun and the TV just like, geez, I practically had to put my shades on. Do you know what I mean? It was so colourful and so. It just looks. What I've said to my wife before about the HDR when you're watching live streaming or whatever, it honestly looks like somebody's just standing in the TV, like behind a bit of glass or something.
Yeah.
And like they're in the room. And that's the best way I can describe what kind of 4K HDR looks like. It just looks so real. It just feels like they're in the room with you, really. And that's kind of what it's like with the games. It's like a painting on your TV. It just looks so stunning.
Yeah.
And obviously, what Gorilla said was it's not native 4K Horizon, but it's the human eye. It's that close that the human eye can't really tell the difference. So
well, I didn't expect it to be full 4K, especially not for £349, because obviously.
But if it's that close that it's.
I
can't tell difference. Then that's pretty good for the price, I'd say.
Oh, without doubt, yeah.
So I'm pretty impressed with that. So that's. I think once you see the actual footage for yourself in 4K, then that's when it starts to make you realise, this could be good. But I don't think the live stream really sold people on it. Also, the fact that they didn't really sell how it will benefit people with a 1080p TV either.
They just kind of said, well, look, there's a more powerful one. It's there if you want it. But you can still use the normal one as well. I felt like they weren't kind of really like pushing the fact that this is the next step as much as they possibly could. They just kind of said, well, you can get it if you want. It is better, but it's up to you really. I've kind of,
Exactly. So I think if they sold it a bit better, then people would be like, wow, this is great. Obviously the big omission from it all, let's just talk positives quickly. The positives obviously is that it's more than double the power of the PlayStation 4. It's got 4.2 teraflops, I think, something like that.
Teraflops,
whatever that means. It's got the same DDR 8 gig.
Yeah, I think I saw that as well.
It's got the Blu-ray drive, which isn't a 4K. That's a strange omission. Trying to think what else, but whatever else it's got, it's roughly the same. It's just really the teraflops that seems to be the bit that sticks out the most. The sort of faster, more powerful graphics card. But everything else, I was just looking through the stats last night, and it was kind of similar to the PlayStation 4, with the exception of the hard drive and the graphics card. Really. Obviously, there's all this magic going on underneath, which kind of makes it what it is. and makes the games stick out. So yeah, so that's quite impressive. That the fact that it's not got a 4K Blu-ray drive is a really big omission. That's a really strange one. I'm guessing it's a money-saving technique. But
Yeah, possibly.
But then saying that, I was thinking about it, and I don't know the last time I watched a Blu-ray. So
Yeah, I know. Same. I've never bought a Blu-ray. I've always, if I wanted to watch something, watched it on like TV or watched it on Netflix when it was available.
Yeah, so I think to some people it might make a difference, but I don't. Maybe Sony's just looking at 4K Blu-ray and thinking, well, no one's buying these anymore. What's the point of the extra cost? Like they said, it's all about the games. And the fact is, there are people going, oh, but Xbox says it's got this. But yeah, at the end of the day, it is a games machine. And we want every single thought going into it to be about games. If I wanted to think about what 4K Blu-ray, I'd buy a 4K Blu-ray player if I was that desperate. Do you know what I mean? It's a nice option to have, but saying that, if the games are better because it's not there.
Yeah, I'd rather have better games than a 4K Blu-ray drive I'm never going to use. I mean, that doesn't really bother me at all.
Yeah,
the fact that there isn't one.
So I mean, yeah. So let's just sum up. I mean, what was your overall sort of thoughts on yesterday's event and the PlayStation Pro in particular?
I thought it was a pretty well done event overall. I mean, there was a few hiccups along the way, but that's come to be expected. As the console goes, I was hugely impressed by the power of it and the ability to run games at 4K or near 4K. And the most impressive thing to me was the price. How they've managed to keep it so cheap, I'll never know. Because I was expecting, at least with the Scorpio, I know that's going to be more powerful, or supposed to be more powerful, but I was expecting it to be at least like $1,000 at least, because the power needed to run 4K games is just so high. But they've managed to do this, and I think Xbox is just sat there like, well, what do we do now? Waiting for the Scorpio.
I've got a fight feeling the Scorpio is going to come in over £500. They've been saying all along it's a premium product, so I've got a feeling it's going to be an expensive premium product, but we'll see. But yeah, I agree in the price, but I guess that price all along, so I'm pretty pleased myself. But I did think it would come out early 2017. So
that's another thing I was surprised with. Yeah, the fact that they're literally releasing it next month or 2 months away even.
Yeah, that surprises me mainly because we've got Slim coming out, we've got PSVR, and we've got Pro. That's quite a lot of hardware coming out, and not everybody's going to be able to afford to buy everything.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If I was to opt for one, I would opt for the Pro.
Yeah, definitely.
Shadow of Doubt, I would just leave PSVR alone. Although I want PSVR, but if I had to choose, it would be the Pro every time, I think.
Yeah, I think PSVR is something that I could wait for, whereas the Pro is like, yeah, I want it now.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I mean, just one more thing. I mean, the games that have been announced: Horizon, Watch Dogs 2, Call of Duty, FIFA 17, and some of the back catalogue like Skyrim Remastered, Last of Us, and also Uncharted 4. I mean, there's some cracking games which are getting support, which will kind of make me go back to all of them. So I'm pretty excited about that as well.
It's almost like playing the game all over again with these new graphics and stuff. It's really exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, we'll leave it there. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Please don't forget. I always say that wrong. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.
See ya.